Two, one, two, one, two. Alrighty. Can y'all hear me? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay, and YouTube. Two, one, two, one, two. Alrighty. Oh yeah, YouTube looks good. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay, and YouTube. Two, one, two, one, two.
Are you taking too long?
Alrighty. Oh yeah, YouTube looks good. Mic check, mic check, mic check. I'm trying to mute it. Okay, and YouTube. Two, one, two, one, two.
Are you taking too long?
Alrighty. Oh yeah, YouTube looks good. Mic check, mic check, mic check. I'm trying to mute it. Okay, and YouTube. Okay, I think I should be all right like that. All right, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead, Ma. You should be okay.
Okay, so we're starting this live Q&A, and it's going to be all real estate. So any questions, just come with it. If you think they're stupid questions, nothing is a stupid question. So ask anything. So we're going to start off by saying we're going to talk about the industry right now, where we are right now. And people, there's a lot of speculation going on right now in our industry. There's a lot of things going on. We're in an election year. The economy is crazy. So people are like, what's going on? What's going on? Should I buy something? Should I not buy something? Should I sell something? Should I not sell something? And if I do want to buy something, how do I go about doing it? With these high interest rates. So let's talk little about that, high interest rates. And if anybody have any questions, just, send it in the chat. You guys want to chime in? I think they can chime in, right, AJ?
Yeah, they can put it in the chat. Okay. There's like a little question box right there. You can put your questions there, or you could just write it out and I'll be able to see it on the chat. So, yeah, appreciate you guys for tapping in.
Right. And a little
also,
bit.
Hold on, Mom. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna put the YouTube channel in the chat. Definitely would appreciate the subscribers, and got more real estate stuff coming. So just, you can definitely gonna see my mom, Veronica Jones, on here more often. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, guys.
And that's because I've been in the business over 20 years, and I have been a top producer at my company, Home Smart Evergreen Realty. A few times I've been a Diamond Award winner multiple times as well. So Diamond meaning how much you make, and top producer is in how much you sell. So I've kind of been doing this for a while now. So I know a little something, still learning every day, because I was at a class today learning. So I'm always still learning. And of course, you guys know AJ is a realtor now as well. So we're just kind of working together on different projects and just kind of moving along. But I did kind of want to touch along that high interest rate thing right now. Jerome Powell have said that he's not going to lower interest rates yet. We were suspecting it to go lower by the summertime, but it hasn't yet. So they're still kind of saying, well, when is he going to lower? When is he going to lower? But nobody knows when. But right now, where the interest rates are, they're in between 6s and 9s. Some new construction builders are giving discounts on interest rates. And there's things that you can do to get your interest rates lower. You could actually buy down your interest rate. So a good way to get your interest, you can buy it down. So it is still a good time to buy. I remember buying in 1996, and my interest rate was actually 7% when I bought in 96. There's a couple of good things about high interest rates, not a lot, in regards to your taxes and things like that. So it's not such a bad thing. It's actually kind of like a tax shelter. But at the same time, with the higher interest rate, yeah, your monthly payment is slightly higher. But it's still a good time to buy. Will interest rates go down? Yes. And I always tell people, look, I think right now, because California has a housing shortage, and I don't think that's going to get any better. I think that's going to get worse. I really think so here in California. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of people coming to California, our state. So, with that being said, we're not having enough housing. And in regards to resale, people are not selling because they basically like, well, if I sell, where am I going to go? So you have a whole demographic of people and older adults as well who really probably want to downsize, but because they have nowhere to go, they won't sell their properties. So we have this housing issue. So with that being said, that's why I believe it's a good time to buy, because I don't think our inventory is going to get better. I think our inventory, as far as purchasing a home, townhome, condo, I think it's going to get harder because of the housing shortage. With the high interest rates, you're buying at a high interest rate, but you're actually buying something. You're not where I'm staying stagnant, renting, buying absolutely nothing. Because what's going to happen, the rents and the mortgages, they're going to be neck and neck. So whether you're buying, whether you're renting, you're going to be paying the same. So it's almost like, should I buy? Yes, you should buy because of the shortage of housing. Your house will appreciate anyway over time. So if you're buying a property that's going to appreciate. If you're renting a property that's going to appreciate in rental, year after year after year after year. So am I owning that? No, you're not going to own it. So whether you're still working, whether you're going into retirement, that rent is still going to continue to go up. Where if you purchase something, even though you're purchasing it at a slightly higher interest rate, you will own it, and you at least your mortgage will be set. The only thing, yeah, your property taxes may fluctuate, but at least your mortgage is set, and you're set for, I don't have to buy again if I don't want to. If I want to buy some type of investment property, income property, yeah, but at least I have that property and I don't have to buy again and I don't have to keep renting. So is it a good time to buy? Yes, it is a good time to buy. And believe me, the interest rates will go down. So when those rates do go down, you refinance that sucker and then you bring that payment lower. So at least you'll have your property, at least you'll have your mortgage, it'll be set. And at the same time, when Jerome Powell do lower the rates, you refinance and you get it even lower. So that's what I think about buying right now. So that's kind of like what's going on with our economy and buyers and the interest rates and the low inventory here in California. So definitely, start positioning yourself, whether it be saving your money, whether it be working on your credit, whether it be just paying off bills and, to get all your bills paid off so you will only be paying your mortgage. Just start positioning yourself to make that purchase in the future. You
So,
don't have to do it now, but just start positioning yourself.
so if they have a home already and they're looking to refinance when the interest rates lower, which type of things should they be doing to get refinance? And is it easy to get refinance, or is it hard to get a
No,
refinance?
No, it's not hard to refinance. It's just like purchasing again. The only thing is you already got your property, so now you're only refinancing your loan. So you're just gonna take that same property that you have, call your lender and say, look, I heard the interest rates are lower now. What are the current rates? And then he's gonna say, well, the rates are XYZ, maybe 4%, 5%, whatever. And all you have to do is do what you did when you first bought your property. Just start gathering your paperwork together, sending him your W-2s, your pay stubs, your bank statements. Of course, he's going to run your credit again. That's why I said position yourself. And as you
Mhm.
position yourself, it's this when you're buying, just continue with that. Continue to keep that credit tight. Continue to try to get raises on your job to make your income higher, or find ways to, maybe start a business, 2 years W-2s, 2 years 1099s, or self-employed, can try to find ways to get your income higher. And then, of course, go in for that refinance, and of course, based on all that criteria will determine, if you can get a lower rate, which more than
Okay.
likely you can.
Okay, so when they are thinking about getting a home and they want to buy their first property, they should be working on their credit, right? Like what actual
Right.
and as far as like documents goes, they should have their W-2s from their job, staying on their job for 2+ years.
That's correct.
Credit scores should be around where for them?
Well, I always say, that's why I say position yourself, and I always tell people speak with the professionals. If you have a lender, if you don't have a lender, maybe you have a credit union, if you have a bank where you can walk in and get a home loan. But I always say talk to the professionals, let them look at your credit. They may have to run your credit, but it's a good thing because at least that person, that professional lender, banker, they credit union, they can look at your credit and tell you what you need to do. They're in that business. So they can read your credit report. They know what they want your credit to look like in order to qualify for a home or whatever if you're a first time buyer. They know what your credit should look like. They know what the score will be. They, you may think, oh, I got to pay this, I got to pay that, I got to pay it. You know what? If you're not in that business and you don't know what it should look like, let the professional do it. Let him look at your credit report, and he can weed out what you need to pay, what you possibly don't need to pay,
Mm-hmm.
what score you need to be at, because those are the ones that are in the business. They know what it should look like in order for you to qualify, in order for you to have a slam dunk. So speak to a professional first, let them run your credit, and if there's things that you need to do, they're going to tell you, they're going to position you, they're going to tell you, okay, you need to do XYZ. So that's why I
Yeah.
always say let the professional look at it, let them tell you what you need to do.
So they'll basically work with you and
Some
figure
of them
out.
will. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
them will. Yeah.
And if you get denied by one, you can always go to another bank or credit union, right? Or lender.
Well. The thing is, see, I don't like that word deny. My lender. I
Mm-hmm.
have a team of people, and I have a lender. So we don't deny anybody. What we do is we tell them, okay, you know what, you just can't do it right now. So
Yeah.
this is what I need you to do. We prepare them. We strategically work with them, position them to this is our plan. We map it out for whether it be the next 3 months, whether it be the next 6 months, whether it be the next year. But we don't deny anybody unless they flat out they don't have a job, or something really bad. But
Yeah.
we try not to deny anyone. But if they don't have a job, we just give them the facts. You got to get a job. If their credit score is in the 500s, you got some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like denying anybody anything. So who am I to deny somebody? Because just like they
So
came to me, they can go to somebody else,
yeah.
and they will say, I'll work with you.
So is 600 good? Like is 600
No,
straight?
it's too low. It's too low. You
Six twenty,
definitely
640.
Well,
Like give
you know,
them like
six six
something to reach for.
640 is acceptable. They can work with 640. You can go FHA with 640. You know,
Hmm.
some lenders will do lower than that. But to really get a good interest rate, you know, you want to shoot for that higher credit score. You know
Yeah,
what
so
I
like
mean?
700,
Yeah, you
750.
want to be you want to be higher up. You know, you definitely want to be higher up because you want the best interest rate possible. You know, you
Okay.
talking a long time to be paying for a property, 30 years. So you definitely want a good interest rate. So
Um,
yeah, if you need a higher credit score, that will be the goal to work towards a higher credit score.
okay, awesome, awesome. I love that. I got Percy wanting to join the live stream.
Okay,
I
good.
don't know if he'll be on YouTube though. Let me
Okay,
see.
that's okay. Chime them in.
So as far as like so we talked about like getting your credit score right, getting it as high as possible so the interest rate is lower. The reason why you want your interest rate lower because the house costs less in the long run. You don't want to pay that much in interest on the long run. So try to
Exactly.
pay off bills, make those credit card payments on time, eliminate debt, and you know, I heard one place said try not to go buy a big purchase before you go buy a house. So maybe not get a car or something of that sort where it's gonna add to your debt to income ratio or
Right,
your.
that's true. Yeah,
So
you definitely want to keep your debt lower. So
mhm,
if you're thinking, you know, I want to buy a home in the near future, townhome home, single family, you definitely want to think, okay, you know what? Let me hurry up and pay off this car that I got. I don't
yeah,
want to buy a new car, start another hot car payment
mhm,
because you could be making over 100,000 a year, which is a good amount of income. But
yep,
if your debt ratio is high, if you have a lot of debt, you know, so there goes your 100,000 because you're too busy paying, you know, all these other bills. So
yeah,
it actually lowers your buying power. So yeah, you don't want to go shopping for a new car when you know that in the next year or two you may be buying a home. So drive the car that you have, you
right.
know, and hurry up and pay it off.
Or get a used small car or something like that if you really need a
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah, you could.
Uh,
You could.
so after they get their credit right, they get their job, they're paying off their debt, it's looking good. What will be their next step? Just to find a realtor like you or me.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. Well, and that's the thing because you know you have to have a team of people working for you. You know,
mhm.
your team is not just your realtor. You know, you have a team. You have a lender. You have a realtor. You know, you have a title person. You know, there's it's a whole team working for you. But yes, you do want to start with those two people, your lender and your realtor, because you know, for one, you need the lender, and you definitely need that realtor to navigate the whole transaction.
Yeah.
And that's what the realtor does. They're navigating the whole transaction. You know, it's a lot to it. You know, so you definitely want to find a good realtor, somebody that will work for you. And you know, there's a
Hmm.
lot of things going on in the industry right now with buyer agents, you know, because of the NAR lawsuit. So, you know, I'll
Yeah.
tap into that a little bit, but it doesn't suggest that you don't need a buyer's agent. You still need a buyer's agent. You know, you're talking about contracts. You're talking, you know, it's almost like having your representative do it for you because you can't do it. You know, I'm not a plumber, so I'm not going to go try to plumb somebody's house. You know, I always tell people stay in your lane. So I'm
Hmm.
going to go get, if I'm looking to buy a house, I'm going to go get me a realtor because I know a realtor knows the business. So that's
Yeah.
what you want to do. You want to hook up with somebody that knows the industry, knows what they're talking about, know the laws, know the contracts,
Yeah.
and know how to again navigate the whole transaction. Because
Transaction and all the paperwork and stuff. Because a lot
yeah,
of people will basically go out and try to find a house on their own, do all the paperwork on their own, and they end up messing themselves up. Correct?
well, the thing is, I don't even know who would do something so
Yeah. Well, they try to cut out. They try to cut out the middle person so
and,
they won't have to
and they
pay
go and
certain
that's a
fees.
big and that's a huge mistake
Yeah.
because I had a client that just recently, him and his girlfriend, and now they called me and now I had to get an attorney involved. So
Hmm.
this is no joke. This is nothing to be played with. And now they have to file a complaint. Now we got to go to court and they have to pay a $10,000 retainer to the attorney.
Attorney.
So
Hmm.
this is nothing to be played with. To you have to know what you're doing. And if you're not trained in that area, you haven't been to school, you just going on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. I can name all
Yeah.
of them. Trust me, big mistake, big mistake. Get
Okay.
yourself get yourself a good realtor and just listen to them,
Yep.
take their advice.
Yeah.
But
Hit
yeah,
us up,
of
y'all.
course.
We got you. Hit us up. You can contact me or my mom. We got you. Don't worry, and we'll guide you through the process. I wanted to talk a little bit about the NAR lawsuit and the buyer representation. I know there's been some changes, and I know you went to a meeting today about
Right.
that. I've been in a few training sessions with it, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the changes that they made uh, with the buyer representation, so the buyer's agent basically.
Right. I was looking at Thrill. He said that's why it's better to move out of Cali.
Yeah, he was speaking to when you were talking about the interest rates. The interest rates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my bro right there. We worked at
Okay.
Amazon together.
But let me just say
Yeah.
that
Yo,
the interest rates are
shout
nationwide.
out.
The interest rates are nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's not going to change. And the prices may be better, maybe lower in other
Lower
states than
prices. Yeah.
California, but actually Florida, Nevada, Texas, those states are just as high as California, believe it or
Yeah.
not, because a lot of people did leave California and go to those states. So what that did was drive those prices higher. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Because the
think
demand goes up.
right.
Supply is still the
So
same.
right. And California, again, it does have low inventory, but those states are moving towards higher prices and again with low inventory because remember, we got a lot of people coming into this United States of America. So
Mm-hmm.
that housing shortage
Which
is
means
not
more demand for homes.
exactly, it's not just going to be here in California. That is going to be nationwide. They better start
Yep.
using up some of that land they have out in the country. But anyway,
No, they will.
they're
They're
gonna
already
have
doing it from
to.
Cali to Vegas.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why
you were
Victorville about to be booming in a couple of years. Well, it's already been
yeah.
booming.
Yeah, and they're about to start building a lot of infrastructure in Victorville. And I
Yeah.
tell people this is what the thing with Victorville. Victorville might seem slow right now, but
Mm-hmm.
see, the other cities were slow at one point, and look at those cities now. See, so Victorville is about to take off. See, they building that what they call that train,
The
that one,
speed bullet train
yeah, the
thing.
bullet.
Yeah.
Trust me, the businesses are going to start moving to Victorville. You're going to see the big companies move to Victorville. You're going to see
Mm-hmm.
logistics centers pop up in Victorville. That means
Yep.
jobs. That means money for the city. So if you can get in on Victorville right now, this is a great time to do it. Because if you get in now, your property will only appreciate really fast
over
in
time.
value. Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
good opportunity there. Good opportunity there.
It sure is.
Um, and there's always going to be a what they call a bear market where there's opportunity for people to get in and make money in real estate, whether you're
Right.
trying to buy just a home just for your family or if you're trying to become an investor. Shout out to my bro Banks. We were talking about ADUs and like building ADUs. So, that's an opportunity where you can buy some land, develop it, and put multiple homes on there to,
Right.
possibly rent out as
Right.
ADUs and, multifamilies. So you just gotta do your due diligence, but it starts with the basics, getting that credit right, getting your job, your income good, so you
Yeah.
can be ready and like you said, in position to make those purchases and you'll
Right.
be off and running. You'll be off and running, but you
Right.
got to
And
make sure you stay on it.
I want to talk a little bit too about income. And let me just say, as far as Victorville, when I say Victorville, I mean up the hill, the IE. So that could
Hmm.
be Hesperia, that could be Phelan, that could be Apple Valley, that could be Adelanto. Victor, it just doesn't stop at Victorville. I'm just saying up the hill period, up in the, what they call the high
Yeah,
desert.
high desert.
That's
Yeah,
right. It's still San Bernardino County. So there's so much room for growth up in there. In Phelan, they have land. You can buy land in Phelan. You could buy 5 acres for about $30,000. You could buy 3 acres for about $30,000. You could still buy land for cheap in Phelan. Phelan you get to Phelan almost before you get to Victorville. It's just really um west, or what do I say, north of the 215. Or is that the 15 or the
hmm
215 going to Victorville? So it's just north of that
15.
freeway. Right. So it's just north of that freeway. So you could buy land up there. And just like you said, you could build houses, you can build ADUs. It's almost the land of
Businesses.
opportunity. It's almost the land of opportunity over there. You could
Hmm.
buy 2 acres and put you a nice manufactured home, put you, some homes there, develop them yourself. That area is almost like a whole nother city that's untouched.
Yeah,
I drive through there all the time. I've been sold a few properties there, but it's untouched. They got land in California for 30,000. So, those are places to go. And like you said, you could build some stuff there. Definitely there's so much room for opportunity still here in California.
yeah.
You don't
So
have to leave California.
yeah, so just get your stuff together, guys. That's all it really is, man. That's all it really is. Putting the pieces together, and you can do a lot, man. You can do a lot. You just gotta get in position.
Right.
Um,
Position yourself.
but
And
wherever
and as far
you
as
are, go
right,
ahead.
go ahead. Oh, so as far as income, what I was going to say is I like to elaborate on income because, a lot of times people, so income can be in your job, whatever income you have, other than, some type of, if you have a Social Security income, if you have pension income, retirement, job, self employed, W-2, those are income. And how you can up your income is if you have a business and you establish that business for 2 years and you file taxes to show that income, even if it's cash. If you're a hairstylist and you get paid cash, put that money in your bank so that it could show on your bank statement. If you're any kind of business that you get is on a cash basis, put it in your bank to show that you have income and do your taxes, and that's a way of raising your income, because you need that higher income here in California to qualify. We live in a state where the cost of living is high. So
Mm-hmm.
we really need to get those incomes higher. And I always tell everybody, get a side gig. Excuse me. If
Yeah.
you have a W-2 job, get a side gig aside from that. Excuse me, because it will help your income and it will help you to qualify. So I
How do
wanted
they how do
to,
they show that side income for banks?
well, that's what I'm
If it's
saying.
like if it's not like a formal thing, like can they do a Cash App? Can they do
If you have a way of showing that money, tracking that money, because they want a
mhm.
paper trail. They want a paper trail of all money, if they're going to use it to help you purchase. And it has to be consistent for 2 years in order for
Okay.
you to use it. So if you have a side gig, and it could be like you said, Grubhub or something, but if it's
Hmm.
consistent for 2 years, and you
Yeah.
can show that, I've had this side gig for 2 years, that's considered, your side hustle, you're a business, especially
Yeah.
if you're filing it on your taxes. And and
Hmm.
you could even buy a house stated income. You could still buy stated income if you could show that on your bank statement that you have that income. What they call it is, it's not stated income, but it's like bank statement income. So
Oh, okay.
they take your bank statements and they look at you, because there's still loans out there like that, believe it or not. They're still
Hmm.
doing it. But they want to see that your income on your bank statement is consistent, and you can use your bank statement. And as long as you're using it consistently, depositing that money consistently for 2 years on your bank statement, you can
Hmm.
use that income. You certainly can. There are lenders that will still do loans based on your bank statement for two
Okay, so
years.
that would be good for like the people who a lot of people they do Uber Eats, they
Yeah,
do Uber and
yeah,
Lyft on their side jobs, and they have a regular 9 to 5, and then after work they go do Uber and stuff. So they
yeah.
can combine that to help them qualify for homes and
There you go.
property.
Exactly,
So it's
exactly.
so there's multiple ways to get at it, guys. You guys just have to put in the work and position yourself, like we've been saying this whole time. Um, but that's good though. I like that. Income is very important because you got to be able to pay for the mortgage, the insurance, all that good stuff.
Right.
So
And you
let's
need
talk.
to be able to qualify with these high prices,
Yeah.
So
What
yeah.
are people? Are banks accepting more mortgage loans now, or are they mostly denying people? Like, what have you heard or seen? Like, are people getting qualified?
Yeah, the buyer pool is a little smaller right now.
Hmm.
People are, believe it or not, people are still buying. We're still closing escrows. People
Okay,
are
and
still buying,
they're still
different.
lending.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. They're still, taking applications. They're still giving loans.
Yeah,
They're
remember,
still
guys, that's how they make money is by lending money. So their job
exactly
is to lend you
to
money.
lend money. That's why they
That's
use
how they.
people's money to give
Yeah.
loans. They say open up a
Hmm.
bank account in our bank, and they
Yep.
using their actual money to go to give a home loan to somebody to charge some interest. So now they're
Yeah.
making
So they can make money off your
their
money.
money.
OPM,
Exactly.
guys. Other people's money.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. That's why I tell people, go buy a house or something. Go buy a condo. Even if you don't want to live in it, buy it anyway. But
yeah.
rent it out if you don't want to live in it. I think I told my son that when he had that Victorville house, I said, just buy it. You ain't gotta live
Mhm.
in it, just buy it. If you want to rent it, you can rent it. But buy it now because the price is low. And
Don't go, yeah. And it
he
goes
took
up.
my advice, and he made so much money off that property,
Yep.
but
Hmm.
that's definitely that's what you want to do. Don't just keep being a renter, all your life, because they're trying to push California, not even California, they're trying to push our nation towards a rental nation.
Yeah.
So that's where you see Wall Street getting on it. That's where you
Mhm.
see Jeff Bezos getting on it. That's where you
Yeah.
see all these, Elon Musk, Bill Gates buying up land, buying up,
BlackRock and all them.
exactly. Wall
Yeah.
Street is going to get in on that because they want to push the nation towards a rental nation. If they could do that, then they will have more renters than they will owners. And guess who will be making all the money? Wall Street. Uh,
Yeah.
the ones with the deep pockets, corporations.
Yeah.
Corporations will be the landlord.
Yeah.
Right now
The
you have
ownership.
the mom and pops, you have them right now, but what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to monopolize the whole industry. And if they can monopolize that industry towards making the nation a rental nation, now people don't have no choice but to rent. We might be buyers now, we might be homeowners now, but you can guarantee that what they'll do is the children and the children's children will all be living into a rental nation. If
Yeah.
people don't if people don't wake up right now and start buying now, because the inventory is low and they're doing that for a reason, and they'll push through. That's why if you drive along this freeway, you'll see all these big complexes where you see it's like a whole stretch of just apartment building. But they call them luxury apartments. And
Mhm.
you'll see like thousands of them.
Yeah.
And that's who owns those. That's what they're doing. They're popping up everywhere. And
Yeah.
so,
A lot in Fontana right now.
oh yeah, if you go along the 10
Building up a lot in
freeway,
Fontana.
you'll see them everywhere. It's like I couldn't believe
Hmm.
what I was seeing. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But that's what
I forgot where I was too. I seen a lot too.
yeah, that's what they're doing. They're trying to push our nation towards a rental nation. And then you have a nation full of renters.
Yeah.
And who owns them? Corporations. So the landlords will be the corporations. So when you get that rent increase, you can't go to the landlord and say, well, you know what? I think you just raised it too high. Can you raise it only $75 or $100? Well, guess what? It's a corporation. So they're gonna raise it based on their corporate. So there will
Yeah. And
be
there's
no control.
statistics and analytics.
Exactly. So there will be no control
Mhm.
as to how much it's going to be what the corporations say it is. So you'll see an end to the mom and pops. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to push our nation towards a rental nation. So that's why I say it is a good time to buy for more reasons than one. Because you not only have to think about yourself, you have to think about your children and your children's children if they're
Yeah.
going to be living in this nation, because they will be renters if you don't do something now
Yeah. And they will never have that opportunity to own property.
to own
Uh,
anything.
yeah.
Exactly.
I
So
would say
it's a perfect time to buy.
I would say there's definitely going to be opportunity to buy. There is now, but it's going to become harder to do that. It's going to become harder to buy homes and properties. So you
Absolutely.
want to get in while you can and don't get priced out, because that was what basically will happen. You get priced out, or they just won't sell. So just make sure that you're taking the proper steps to set yourself up and set your family up. I wanted to, you kind of went into the renter nation a little bit, and that kind of, I wanted to see what you thought about the election process on the results of the election on real estate. But before that, I kind of wanted to see if you can give some advice to like realtors and this new buyer representation agreement, because it's a new law basically that states that you don't have to necessarily you don't have to pay your buyer's agent,
No,
but at
that's
the same
wrong.
time
No,
That's
see
wrong.
that
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
that's wrong.
Correct me.
Right. So it's not saying because you do have to pay the buyer's agent. You do. So and that's where people are getting it kind
But
of
it's
messed
like
up.
a commission though, ain't it?
It's still commission. Oh, absolutely. It's still commission and you still have
Like
to
or like
pay.
a concession.
No, it's commission. So a concession is something that I'm giving you, like I might be giving you some closing costs to help you,
Mm-hmm.
buy the house. So that's a concession. But commission, the buyer's agent do still have to pay. Now, what the discrepancy was is who pays the buyer's agent. So it used
Yeah.
to be, yeah, it used to be, and it still is. The sellers will pay the listing agent and the buyer's agent, and it's always
Mm-hmm.
been that way. But
Yeah.
now because of the lawsuit, they're trying to say, oh well, buyer's agent need to be paid by buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So buyer's agent, can be paid by buyers or they can be paid by sellers. It's just
Which be a
really
concession as well, right? They listed as a
no,
concession.
no,
No.
no, no. It's commission. So
Okay.
they're trying to, if you put it as a concession, it's almost like you want to say it will not fly because you can't really put it as a concession because it's a payment to the buyer's agent. So
Yeah.
you can't put it under closing costs. The buyers may have to come out of their pocket to pay it, but
Mm.
you still can negotiate with the seller to pay the buyer's agent. So definitely it's still the only thing is now, and it was this before, it was negotiated. And it still
Yeah.
is negotiated. It
Negotiate. Yep.
really hasn't, yeah, it really hasn't changed anything. The only thing is like when you asked me earlier about the buyer representation, the buyer agreement,
Mm-hmm.
now you're just required to get that buyer agreement. So if
Yeah.
you come to me and say, hey, Veronica, hey, AJ, I want to buy your house. Well, now we
Mm.
have to make you sign a buyer agreement saying that you're working with me directly and not
Yeah.
someone
I'm
else.
representing you.
Right, exactly. Not three other agents. My cousin,
Mm-hmm.
my uncle, my
Yeah.
cousin is an agent. But you got me working for you, and I'm doing all this work. So now
Mm.
they have to sign the buyer agreement up front, saying that you're working for them and that they're
Yeah.
working with you specifically. And you have to document that, and you have to document all the properties that you're showing there where before we just kind of had free range. We've always had that agreement around. It's been
Mm-hmm.
around like forever, but nobody used it. But now we have to use it because now it's
Yeah.
accountability. So we have to use that agreement now, and that's the only change that I would say in regards to your question
Mm-hmm.
from earlier regarding that agreement. Now that agreement is up front, the buyers have to sign it saying that they're working with you. And I think everybody has to be transparent. You have the listing agents have to be transparent
Mm-hmm.
with the sellers, and the buyer's agent have to be transparent as well, with the
Yeah.
buyer. So the only thing that the lawsuit that I think what it did, it just made it where now there's just even more transparency,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of new contracts that's added to the transaction because of it. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, there's a lot of transparency now that's up
Yeah.
front. So, and now they have to sign that they're actually working with an agent.
Yeah, it all came about because I believe it was a lawyer or a doctor or something, and
He was a
hired
lawyer.
a he hired an agent to represent him to basically find him a house, and I guess he wasn't really doing any work or something, and he still got
Yeah.
paid or
Well,
somehow.
he felt
So,
like that. He felt like the agent didn't do enough work for him, but he
yeah,
wasn't a attorney. He was an attorney, so that
he
I
he
mean,
turned
he
around and
should
sued the NAR.
exactly, and
That's funny.
rightfully so because you know I'm gonna be really transparent here. A lot of agents do get into business, and I'm gonna be honest. A lot of them they think this is a walk in the park, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not. And they don't know that you're representing somebody, and
Yeah.
there's work to that. You
Mm-hmm.
can't take this lightly. So I could see where he probably was upset, and maybe felt like his agent maybe his agent wasn't transparent and didn't say
Yeah.
what he was actually doing. You have to educate your buyers. You have to educate your sellers. You got to tell them everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
They
Let them
they
know the
think
process.
yeah, so if they think that you're doing absolutely nothing, then you're not communicating to
Mm-hmm.
them. So, but then, like I said, is there a lot of bad agents? Is there a lot of agents that think this is a walk in the park? Yeah, there is, but it's really not. It's not an easy job. It's a lot, a whole
Yeah.
lot. You
Yeah.
know.
I would go through like the duties of an agent, but
Oh, I got a
it's
list for
good.
you.
Yeah.
I
It's
got a
kind of
list for you.
yeah.
About 200 items.
Yeah,
I got a
we'll try to do another video for realtors, and any people who want to buy or get into real estate, they can go through that too. But I before we get out of here, I wanted to see what your thoughts on the election process and how it's going to affect real estate. Maybe some policies you might have heard of that might be coming out of Joe Biden's camp or Donald Trump's camp. Just get your overall thoughts on it, and then we can close out.
Yeah. See, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see where the
Will it
election
change at
goes.
all?
Yeah, the economy is the big factor here,
Hmm.
because people right now are struggling, to pay even their bills. So, wages need to go up for one. So we need somebody in office that's going to get the wages up and, the
Hmm.
inflation down. But
Yeah.
and then you know, I just hope that we get somebody that can work with Jerome Powell to hey, we got to do something about these interest rates. And the only thing that good with the candidates that right now is the one candidate. I'm not gonna comment on him, but I do know that one knows real estate. And I can remember back to 2008 when we had the big housing crash when people were losing their homes.
Hmm.
One of the first things that he did say at that time, and it's because he knows real estate. He told people to stay in their homes and not leave their homes. And he was right for saying that, because people were abandoning their homes, and
Yeah.
that's the all more reason they lost them. But
Are you talking about Trump
yeah, he
or
was
was it a
telling
different
people.
candidate?
I'm talking about Trump. He was
Oh,
telling
okay.
people to he was telling people to stay in their homes,
Hmm.
and that was the right thing to do. So
Yeah.
he knows a little about, when it comes to real estate. But
Hmm.
the thing is, going forward, we definitely need somebody that's going to be for, getting people home ownership, and
Yeah.
not just handouts, but home ownership, like helping people to strategize,
Yeah. Get on their
navigate,
feet.
right, and to promote
Hmm.
home ownership. So
Yeah.
we need somebody like that that's gonna across the board promote home ownership, because
Okay.
we want to see young people like yourself purchasing. And you have a big demographic of people to buy, and you want those people to come to you. Want to be that person that they come to say, hey, Arthur, can you help me to buy? So you want to be there, be ready. Yeah, I can help you. Let's do
Oh yeah.
this.
All top.
So that's who we want. We want somebody in office like that, with a business mentality, with a real estate, knows have some background in, something real estate, you
Okay,
know.
so coming
Yeah,
November 5th, make sure you guys are looking at their policies and their
yeah,
plans to improve the
for
economy
our
and
country. Yeah,
improve them yourself. Like they always say, don't vote the candidate, vote your interests. So
right.
you make sure you guys are paying attention to what exactly these guys are saying and what they're
Yeah,
actually doing. So yeah, that's good. That's good cake, mom. Do
yeah.
you want
And I,
to
I
give the
just want to
people?
say,
Uh huh.
and when you said that, I just want to say, I don't have to like you, but it's what you're doing,
Yeah.
because actions speak louder than words, and a lot of time talk is cheap. But
Hmm.
it's almost that thing. You don't have to really, if I like you, it's a plus. But
Yeah.
if I don't have to like you personally, but if I see that you're doing an awesome job and that
Hmm.
you can be trusted, and like you said, those policies, that's what I'm looking at. You know, we're not best friends. We're not friends. This is business.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna put my personal feelings aside, but this is
Hmm.
business.
Yeah.
It's about business.
Yeah.
At least
And
for me, it is.
prosperity. You want people to be living good. You want people to have
Exactly.
a roof over their head, a bed to lay in,
Yeah, their
food to eat,
children.
take care of their
Yeah,
children when they go in daycare, where they don't have to struggle every day just to make ends meet. Um, you know, it goes hand in hand. Yes, the citizen has to do their job, but if you have a president, which we consider a leader, to help them along the way, then that's like a great pairing right there.
right,
So, you
exactly.
know, everybody just keep working hard, get in position, get that credit score good, pay down them bills, make your payments on time. And it's not easy. I always tell you guys, it is a struggle sometimes. You have to practice budgeting, practice discipline, stand on your P's and Q's. Maybe you can't go on that trip. Maybe you can't buy that expensive shirt that you want. Whatever it is, you might have to tell yourself no before you can tell yourself yes. So just stay down until it's time to come up. And when you come up, make sure you stay up, practicing some of those same habits, and you'll be okay. You'll just, it's a process, and you got to trust the process. It's not always going to feel good. And once you get to that point, you be like, oh man, I'm doing kind of good. But you have to take the punches at first, and you got to stay grounded, and pretty soon you'll be flying. You just stay at it. But
Right.
I
No
appreciate
pain.
you, mom.
You're
uh
welcome. No pain, no gain.
yeah, and there you go, no pain no gain. Yep, that's it right there. So I appreciate you, mom.
Oh, you're
Do you
welcome.
want to give them your plugs where they can find you? I guess I can put your Instagram in there so they can reach out to you
Yeah,
that
my
way.
Instagram is fine. We're here in California, so for all the Cali people,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
definitely you could find me. I don't like to give out too much information because
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah,
stalkers.
go to her Instagram, guys. You guys can go to Instagram and hit her up, DM her. All you gentlemen out there, you go ahead and you want to do. I ain't gonna say nothing. Hey, it's my mama though,
You
so
just
be
gotta be
mindful. Be
careful.
mindful. I heard somebody. But yeah, I appreciate you, mom.
You're
Again, my
welcome.
name is Arthur. Y'all know me. This is the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. If you're on the IG live, make sure you guys go to the YouTube and subscribe, and help us boost those numbers up. Hit the like button, follow us, and hopefully we can help you guys get some real estate this year. If not this year, then next year for sure. But like my mom said, time is now. Let's do it now.
Time is now. Time is of the essence.
Yep. So work at it every day and take it easy. Don't go too hard on yourself, and know you'll get there and eventually. Peace and love, and I hope I see you guys again. See y'all. Hold on, let me